Hey rabbits, Head Hare Phoebe, doing another hair snippet for you again today. This one's about values. Once upon a time, I met a person, now a trusted friend and my mentor actually, who talked a lot and spoke a lot and lectured a lot about the concept of values. And what I learned from this person is that values are obviously integral to who we are. They're very important. We should have them. I think we all do have them. But what I learned from this person is that the entire concept of having a value system requires a great deal of work. In the lived experience space, or they just in the human condition, generally, if we experience distress, hard times, adversity, troubles, we try to recover our well-being by doing anything that can help us. And a very helpful suggestion is, who are you? Who are you? What matters to you? What are you passionate about? And the subject of values and what's important to you will inevitably come up. I learned there was a little bit more to it than that, because I always figured that I knew what my values were, and actually when I sat down to write them down, I realised that I didn't really know, although I didn't know what order they came in. And it was proposed to me that having maybe 10 to a dozen are probably core values, probably your more important ones. You have as many as you like, but there's probably about a dozen that are really key to you and a primary identifier for you, and that you should always know what your top three are. You should have a top three. And so I poodled around that idea for a while. And it's something that's really helped me on my journey. And yet I can imagine going up to an average Joe in the street and saying, out of your dozen core values, what are your top three? And being met with honesty, kindness, integrity, or someone quickly grabbing the things that we lean to most. And it's not a wrong answer, and they're great answers, and that probably is completely true. Those are commonly held values. And when I thought about this, if I did that in the street, who really knows their core values and their top three and why they chose them and what it means? And I thought, how come we people who lived experience, peer workers, mental health workers in the sector, we often go through this process, well-being, we know this stuff, we can identify it, and yet it's probably not considered something really well worth doing unless you are, recovering your well-being. These are things that are fantastic to do for anyone in any stage of life for any reason. Well, I would think the primary reason would be it is just a fantastic thing to do, to really figure this stuff out and really internalize what your value system is. But the thing that I want to talk about is the secondary part, where the work comes into it. So I've become very clear. I am this person because of these things, and these are the top three. I have chosen them because, in fact, my top three actually all link to each other, and actually I believe that everything else, even if I had another 100 values, would actually be elicited by these three. So I did all this work, and then I realised that it wasn't over, because that's not really the issue. Identifying them it was a 6-month process for me. What I learned from my mentor is that it's really about living by them. And when I say living by them, I mean internalizing to the point where they are not flexible, where you do not compromise those values, where they drive everything that you do. They don't change, falter, they don't let you down. In some cases they do let you down, because they make you do things that are, they make you take the harder road on some instances, but that feels good when you've taken the harder road because it's a value and you've stuck to it, and you come out at the end going, yeah, I'm glad I stuck with my value there, because if I didn't, I'd be feeling really different. And so I learned from my friend and my mentor how authentically she lived this way and how authentically she believed that, and how difficult it can be. And I wound up with a saying in my mind: there's no point having values if you can't live by them. I repeat over and over, especially in certain workspaces and personal situations, there's no point having values unless you know how to live by them. So that was a little hair snippet from me today. Don't just choose your values, know them, internalize them, live by them, make them strong, concrete, inflexible. Do not compromise them, do not bend them, and your values will not let you down. Have a good day.